Welcome to the fourth tutorial on scripting for Vegas Pro. In this tutorial we'll be handling user input. There is hardly any information on this to find online, so if you have any questions you can ask me in the comment section. So what you're going to do is create a new project, and what you are going to need is a Forms app. Okay, so as you can see we have a form over here. I'm just going to ignore it for a few seconds because first we have to do our standard project things. We're going to add two references, which is scriptportal.vegas and system.windows.forms, which is included this time. Next, obviously your project properties, debug and start an external program. We already did all this, but since it's a new project you have to do it all over again. And finally, this is new. When you make a forms project you have to change the output type to a class library. Otherwise it won't generate a DLL you can run in Vegas. So, this is my form. And if you want any more information on how it works, there are plenty of tutorials that can help you out. So all I got was a numeric up down and a button. As you can see, I'm not a visual designer. I'm going to double click the button and get our form.cs. And here you have the partial class that belongs to the design here. Don't touch this. And this is the function that was generated because I double clicked the button. So yeah, let's just start doing something. When we touch the button we want to submit something to Vegas, and in this case we want to submit the value that's in numeric up down 1. So you can see it's numeric up down 1 here. So how do you get this information from a form to Vegas? Well, you gotta work with fields. So I'm going to make a public integer, call it fade value. Okay. So when we click the button we want to set the fade value, and you do this by numeric up down 1 dot value. And this returns a decimal, so we're going to cast it to a integer. Now we have this value set, and when we start programming our Vegas class, of our entry point class, we can access this, but we don't want this yet. Because if we do this the value will be set but the form won't close, so we do this dot close. So this is essentially everything that we are going to need for this simple form, but you can add multiple things, but just follow another tutorial on how to work with forms in Visual Studio. So make a new public class entry point, our main function. Yeah, so as usual, this is the function that gets called when you start the script in Vegas, and the first thing it needs to do is create the form, obviously. And for that I am going to use the using statement for memory management and create a new form1. Form1 is new form1, and make a dialog result and form1.show dialog. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to create the form here, and once we get out of the using statement it deletes it, so it's not really necessary, but it's proper coding etiquette. Then we are going to show the form and keep it shown until it closes, so when we call this to close, and it returns a dialog result, which we are going to need, but we aren't returning it now, so this dot dialog result equals dialog results dot okay. Okay, so that we are going to use an if-else statement. If result is a dialog result okay, then it was executed properly, and if not, it wasn't, so we really don't want to do anything else either. Little mistake over here. Well, if the result was dialog result okay, then that means the fate value was properly set, so we can also access it. And so what we first got to do is create our own fate value in the entry point class and assign it by the value of the form. There we go. So now outside of the using loop, we're done with the form and we can start doing something with the value we just got. So what I'm going to do for this tutorial is set all the selected video events to the fate value the user gives. So first I'm going to copy my helper function. So here's the helper function from the previous tutorial. Get selected events. So a new track event list, track events equals get selected events my project. Now simply for each track event in track events, we set the fate value to the value we got from the form. Track event dot fate in dot length. So this is a timecode dot from frames fate value, and there you go. So now the number of frames the user submits over here will be the amount of frames each selected track event will have as a fade in. So let's run it and see if I fucked up somewhere. So here's my project. Here's all the images in timeline. Select them all and run the script. So tutorial2.dll. If you're not seeing your DLL, that means you skipped an important step. So go back to the beginning of the tutorial to fix this. Now we can set the amount of frames we want each one to fade in. Let's do 20 and click this ugly ass button, and each one just got a fade in of 20. Now we can also revert this and give it a new fade value, say 5. Now each one got a 5 frame fade in. And that's the power of user input. So in the next tutorial I will not be learning anything new. I will show what I created for my own projects to give you guys an idea what scripting can be used for.